Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Rao. I got a uh, very interesting topic today that I coined this term a few years ago. I was playing with my uh, friends and I was telling them, have the side on your side. That somehow just came to me. Then they asked me, what is that side you are talking about? I said, they represent the integrated yoga approach to life, right? SIDA. S standing for service. That's the karma yoga and your action yoga, right? I stands for both intuition and also in focus. How you can uh, follow Raja Yoga and meditate and improve your focus and intuition. D stands for devotion or bhakti yoga, where you have larger than yourself as devoted to that bigger cause and make your life meaningful, right? And the fourth one is the E, or stands for either for energy yoga or enlightenment, right? That's what the yogis really strive for, So suppose you are working unselfishly and you are not carried by all the things that coming at you, but you are meditative and then you are deliberate in your responses and reactive because you have focus and you have stability, and also you kind of reverent to the bigger energies, the nature, the god, whatever that you consider as some other energies looking after us are created and take care of that. That's a big really millions of people, right? So and then you want to really embark on that enlightenment path where you can find yourself and really operate from that stable self within you, right? So I was writing a book on this, and most of the chapters are delineated, and I'm done with the introduction. And I also thought I will bring along my friends on the Zaps to really look at this and deal with many challenges in modern life. That's the intention. Intention is to understand the problems of modern man and really look at the lifestyle, our daily life, and make simple changes that will go a long way about reducing your stress and burnout and improving your energy and maybe longevity and all that. But at the same time, you can really feel like you are doing a meaningful and purposeful life, and you are being really helpful and joyful in life, right? So that's the intention. So I was going to start with action yoga. See, most of modern men are trained to work for yourself and gain knowledge and skills for yourself, and then sell them to make money so that you and your family will be enjoying few pleasures and enjoying monetary security and all of that. The danger is people with a lot of money kind of making people with lot less money suffer because the gap is continuously increasing and the money gets earned and then accumulated but not used for other people. So on the other hand, if you develop this attitude, I'll live simply, I'll have fewer things, and I'll make sure that other people also have the basic things that they need. This is not being communistic or socialistic, but just a fellow to fellow human being, right? That kind of atmosphere happens when people are basically unselfish. That's what the karma yoga or action yoga taught. It said, go and work there and help people, service them in whichever way you can, and then don't expect anything in return and see what happens with the giving and working unselfishly. Okay, not only you feel good about it, but also you are free of the desires and all the selfishness. Thereby, you can purify your soul. That's one, right? And second thing is I. I is for in focus or intuitive self, right? How do you get in focus is don't let this constant thinking, constant barging upon so many stimuli on our brain that we will be thinking continuously. That's the overthinking. That is the leading to stress and burnout, especially nowadays, right? Even before it was there. So what they are educating is stop in the morning, in the evening, quieten it a little bit down, and then be in focus of whatever you are doing. Thereby, things get done faster, this can get better, and you enjoy the life better too. And the third one is the D. D is for devotion, where you are reverent to something larger than you, not just self centered or thinking that we are egotistical, we are powerful because we have this ego. That kind of feeling, many people suffer the consequences of ego after they have dominated somebody or they belittled somebody or they kind of gave them a lot of stress. So that's why many companies are now looking for servant leadership, where leaders are taking care of the needs of the customers or employees first before they, but that's not happening. Um, many CEOs making a lot more money than the people who are working under them, right? Even in the hospital structure, many people think doctors make a lot of money. That was before, but nowadays it is the executives that make a lot of money, the CEOs, CFOs, and all that. But it is the uh, servicing nurses and doctors. They are paid not that much these days. Only a few doctors get a lot of money, but many doctors are working like employees now, right? So this happens in all the sectors, not just the healthcare industry. Okay, so uh, having that kind of attitude helps a lot. So be in service, be in uh, focused mind, be aware of something bigger than you, and it could be a cause, it could be something noble idea, it could be a principle, or it could be just your humanity. All those things are under play. So have the side on your side. So I started the book with the intention of presenting an integrated approach to life where we work, we kind of keep our minds focused, and we kind of be reverent to the bigger forces, natural forces, or your imagined forces, whatever, and really be energized and also go for what is human life is all about. Is it just to come and take birth and live and have some few pleasures and accumulations and then die, or is there something deeper significance? That's what the yogic view is, that you have an inner enlightenment that you can achieve, and you are enlightened, you are not only healthy and well, but also you are peaceful and happy and blissful. you know so all that is needed is some knowledge. To get that knowledge, you have to have a purified focused soul, right? Purified focused being, at least. And then you will be able to touch that already within each human being. That's where human life becomes so special, in the ancient language, right? That's why I'm so fascinated with it, because people can have all the luxuries they have that can weaken their health and all that. People can have all sorts of accumulations, but then how many accumulations you want? Once you have liberated from the um, accumulations inside, then even if you lose them, you don't care. Then your happiness is not really in making things or getting things, and then suffering because you lost them. Something can happen, right? Natural disaster, or you can go bankrupt. So many things can happen, not that they have to happen, but there's a fact of life, they can happen. Then do you have resilience to handle that, and how is your energy, how is your meaning and purpose in life? All those things roll into this integrated approach. There's a lot to say for each part of it, but I hope you appreciate the integrated approach I'm trying to present here. And if you have any questions, come up and ask me or indulge me in this discussion. That way, as I'm writing the book, I want to make room for the chapters where a personal advice and my personal stories, anecdotes, and also uh, practical advice and take home steps that you can do, you can implement, and you can really understand. For example, if you are kind of spending time with these devices all day and also into the night, which most of the kids and the youngsters are doing now, and you are imbibing a lot of information, that we call it information overload. We are in that era, right? So how do you get help for that is this habit of trying to put them everything away, all the external sources, and sitting down in the morning, in the evening, for 5 to 10 minutes, and do with your own thoughts, watch them, calm them down by taking deep breaths, and then do that in the morning first thing, and do that the last thing before you go to bed. If you just cultivate this in a disciplined way, in a daily way, consistent way, 3 to 4 weeks all that you need. But you cannot go back to your old habits of spending all the time with the devices. But you understand how your mind feels, how you are dealing with other people, how you are not irritable, not obnoxious or reactive, and all that, right? Those things will go. So there is a huge neurological toll that we are taking because we are allowing these informations which are lots of times not needed. If you can restrict yourself to your job, to your really loved ones, and to whatever arts or whatever you are doing with the music or dance or whatever, and then you go and spend time calmly with the nature, you are going to thank yourself because you don't need all these psychological helpers, or you don't need all these doctors very early age. Maybe later on in the age you may need them, but you can have a proactive wellness, you can have beautiful energy, and you can have mental peace and happiness, and you can have inner resilience that can solve the problems that you encounter in modern life. Okay, I don't think we are paying enough attention to that natural stuff, the simple stuff that we could do. Simple stuff is shut down your devices, they should not be your bosses, and employ some discipline about what kind of data I want to take through the day, and rest of them, how can I keep my mind quiet? How can I be still? So that's the purpose of sitting down in the morning and in the evening and meditate. So simple things like that. Okay. So look for the book. I will complete pretty soon because this is going to be very practical. You don't have to. really buy into any religious flavors, anything like that, because yoga is a lifestyle. It can be applicable to anybody. You can pursue any religion and do this too. So you don't have to become Hindu or anything like that. You can appreciate the wisdom in Hindus, you can appreciate the wisdom in Christians, you can appreciate the wisdom in Muslims, Jews, and all that. That's fine. But then you don't have to belong to them. You don't have to identify with them and then separate yourself from everybody else. I am concerned. I consider myself a human being who is a global citizen, not a one particular country. Maybe documents may be there for travel purposes and all that, but in my heart of heart, I have no division that this person belongs to this country or that country. That's my personal choice. But then, if you like it, and if you think that this identification to the nations causing a lot of problems for us in terms of our resources robbing, in terms of lives robbing because of the wars and all those things, right? So nowadays on these apps, for example, I'm reaching everybody that's on the air. They may be here, or they may be in India, or they may be in China, wherever they are. So there is no restriction, right? So in that way, we all become one village. Why can't that be in them? Then all the divisions are gone. Then that is really loving feeling, right? And then you don't have any enmity towards other people. So that kind of thing. So I'm going to finish the book, and as the chapters are being done, I'm going to bring them to you and read from those chapters a little bit and introduce them. And I invite you participate in that, and then come and tell me what was the practical advice and actionable steps are doing. How do you like them, or do you want to add any of that? And then also react to my personal stories. I'll be telling about karma yoga, raja yoga, which is the meditation, and bhakti yoga, which is devotional, and um, enlightenment yoga. That's the gnana yoga. That is a knowledge yoga, right? What does it mean, and how that is started? How does it practice? I will give you my personal journey, personal thing, and then how now I don't have to do a deliberate attempt, but more like it flows through work and leisure. Work and home members are not separate. So you can have an integrated approach to life. Whether you are working or relaxing or keeping healthy with both body and mind and in spirit. So it will be integrated approach to life. We call it yoga because once you understand this principle and you stick to it and you are in it, in that energy, that is the mixture of yoga. So your true inward being is coming out in action, in focus, in tune with the universal energy, and that is very energetic, and that is enlightening to you because you have realized something already there. Okay, that is the self-realization they talk about, which is the enlightenment they talk about. And once you are in focused or stayed in that energy, your central energy, your essential essence or being, then you can manage your mind better, you can manage the world better, you can manage the body better. So those kind of things are very valuable in the long run. See, I did the first talk on this Wisdom app. It used to be Wisdom. Now it is Noom Vibe, right? And also, I did the same thing on other apps too. In that app, I stated like the healthiest people are the people who have realized themselves, who have realized what they really are, the true being, and how that is all one, and that consciousness uh, transcends through our body and mind and gives us all the experience of this life. the experiencer who is experiencing everything. That's the important thing. And that we call it like a witness consciousness. So if you have some thoughts, if you have some feelings, emotions, and all that, if you are able to watch them, witness them, observe them, that is the essence of mental peace and also happiness and bliss. So I invite any of you come and tell me this something that you would like to see, or I'm going to do that anyway. But if you have some suggestions or you have some questions and you ask for certain aspect of it, probably I can enrich this book in a. It is going to be an e-book. It's going to be a practical book. It's going to be available on my website, which is uh, beapal.net. Okay, so beapal.net. Okay, so anybody wants to come up, I'll be here to talk to you for a few minutes. As we proceed from introduction to first, we will take up on the actionable yoga, that is acting yoga, action yoga, that is karma yoga. Actually, this is a big deal in uh, our dealing with something like a COVID pandemic, right? So doctors and nurses were scared too, because in the initial stages, when they really did not notice or announce to the world that this particular thing is a novel virus and it's going to be pretty deadly in the as you go along. Novel virus by definition is that we, as human beings, none of us were exposed to this virus before, and that's why we don't have any immunity for it. What happens usually is when you are exposed to a bug, the bug tries to invade us, then our immune system responds and it makes antibodies against it. And then next time we're exposed to the virus, there are more antibodies. And then the whole tribe, human tribe, has this immunity that we call herd immunity. Then, even though you are exposed to something, you because you have herd immunity, you will be protected. That's how the whole population will be protected. But then, out of ignorance, out of political propaganda, or whatever misguided information, a lot of people did not approach the pandemic wisely, and they could have prevented it, confining to one village and then just not allowing you to come out of that country to other countries and all that, right? But because of the fast-paced travel, 200 million people traveled from Europe to here after they gained the virus in Europe, right? And of course, it came from China to Europe, Europe to here. They did not ban the travel at the right time. That's why they allowed spread of the COVID, right? In those circumstances, how do we do? We kind of improve our inner resilience, apart from taking care of the vaccine requirements, also the really doing the measures to control within the community, right? So you got to deal with the agent, which is the virus, environment, all of the world is one, and now the host. We are very good at taking care of the agent. We strived hard, and these days that because of the technology, we were able to get the vaccine for the novel virus in record time, in 1 year. That's because we were able to share the data sets of virus among the scientists around the world. That was a beautiful work for somebody who is interested in that kind of activity. and that kind of striving of the scientific community to find a solution and strive hard without knowing whether they will succeed or not, and being achieving that within 1 year is truly truly remarkable, you know. And then we were able to bring the vaccine, and then again the ignorance of some politicians or administrator, whatever, they did not do a good job about giving everybody in the world equitably the virus. I was listening to WHO update every day during that period, and I was transmitting all that on these apps came up, and whatever I learned, I was telling them. I learned from the scientists, from the drug companies, from the WHO, all those things, right? Then we have our own channels to follow up what's going on with any particular disease or any particular issue in health, right? So somebody like me who is always up on the current affairs, I followed that very much, and I transmitted to my friends and family and everybody here, patients also. Then these people did not allow the vaccine to be distributed properly, so it went to the different countries, and overall we suffered. As a humanity, we could say it could have been a wonderful victory if only people were, you know, not stupid enough, right? Wise enough to really do the important things first and then worry about it later. They should have mitigated it when it has spread by giving the news early and by warning more people and by enforcing more like epidemic nurses and all that do that network where all these things are pointed out and then prevented is not there even now, right? So next time we have virus, we will pay again dearly because of this lack of preventive services and mitigating services and all that, you know. So anyway, we are again we're seeing the rise of COVID a little bit. So we paid attention to the agent, at least to some extent. Some segments of the society, like scientists, they did, right. Um, and then environment, we kind of failed because we allowed the planes to go, and we allowed a lot of people spread it around, and we didn't really succeed in stopping the spread of the virus in the environment. That is still the situation now. So we've got to be aware of it. As citizens, you should be encouraging politicians to spend more time and energy on that. Now, the third thing is something where we can do. That is our host resistance and inner resilience. See, my thing is always how can you be well for a long time and also in good energy and you can be happy and joyful too. Towards that extent, you don't want to be unnecessarily getting the diseases. Obviously, the human body deteriorates as it goes to the so many things. But then with our lifestyles, with our attitude, we make it much faster, much easier. Okay, we start kids very early about this smoking and drugs and all that, or we allow a lot of psychological strife go through the society, and then at the end of the life we kind of weak and maybe a lot of nursing homes have these vegetables like people. Very sad to see them, you know. They don't have any meaningful life. They don't have any energy in their life and all that, you know. That makes me very sad when I see them. So I try to live healthy and well and in good energy. So I lead a teetotaler's life. I live close to the nature. I live with vegetables and fruits as my primary diet, and I keep my mind calm. Simple things, right? Uh, any of these things anybody can do if only they are awake and aware. So this attempt of this book is about the inner resilience of each human being. You can have diseases, but still you can put the diseases at bay, or you can keep them from getting to you completely. That means the severity of the illness, you can slow down, right? So that way you can delay your morbidity and eventual mortality a little bit more. But with our knowledge and the science about molecular biology, genome, and so many new technologies coming up, we can really help you to eat better and move better and keep your mind quiet in so many ways. There's so much knowledge there. There is so much understanding about it. From ancient times to now. So don't bark on ancient insights, or don't bark on the scientific findings that we have success with. But integrate them. Use the best of both worlds. That's what is intended in this book, where we're going to get ancient natural practices combined with our modern problems, and how we can bring them a simple life and higher thinking. That's the principle based on this book. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. And I'm very excited because I've come up with this project. So anybody has any questions, you can come up before I close down, and I'll be talking about this quite often. As I said, as I work on each book, basically, this book will have the introduction, and I'll first take that as an introduction. Next time I come, probably maybe tomorrow, I will start telling more about the introduction, and then we will open up each chapter every week and see the chapter's contents and chapter steps, practical steps, actionable steps, practical advice that may have some questions. Maybe somebody is doing against them, and maybe they want to reverse that. So that kind of personal questions also will be entertained, provided you come up and ask me, or you can send me in the DM. Either way, it doesn't have to be you have to come up and speak, but you can send them. So that way you can use the opportunity to learn right away and then apply them in your life right away. Okay, don't sit there and just think. Have an intuition about what you have heard and grasp that insight, and then make sure the insight is applied practically. Okay, so there's no time to waste. Okay, there's no time to go on each room and just listen to them and then go and fill your mind with a lot of information without using any of it. That is something you got to guard against in this information age, because what is that you want to do, what is in your life that you want to have problems with, what are the things that are making you problems, or breaking your relationships, or breaking your health and wellness. These are practical things. Then you have to really reach for it. That is a major emphasis of my current life, is how can I get more people to be proactive about their wellness, not just the body, but also the mind and spirit, integrated, right? How can we get them to pay attention to things that may be cooking up in them? Maybe it will start with you are not able to sleep right away, or you are not able to have good sleep. There is so much you can do with that. I'm going to do a practical session on what's called Yoga Nidra, where you will really do that with me, and you will experience the relaxation. If you properly do it, if you allot the time for it and you do it properly, and you make it a habit every day, I can guarantee you that you sleep better. But the big F is you have to do it daily and you have to do it correctly. You don't have to take any medication, you don't have to adopt any particular religion or anything. You just have to follow relaxing progressively from head to toe. Once you do that, I'm going to do a practical session on that, and then you can do wonders to your sleep, which is also a restorative mechanism of the nature. So once you do that, you will be very happy about that. Okay, that kind of thing. So non-invasive, non-religious, no force involved, but requires people to pay attention, understand, and do it with mindfulness, more like awareness, I call it. So if you can do that, you will feel this. That's one example, but there are so many things out there. You can be with as few medications as possible or no medications like I am. I always brag about that. Even though I'm a physician, I prescribed so many thousands of prescriptions, but I gave them a chance of to get off them. I gave them to cut down at least. I gave them chance to replace them with better supplements and all that. People who are really want to do that, they did. But the people who are a victim of their habits, they were not able to, or their misguided information about how the medical system also spreads only that is the alternative. Whereas if you look at the health systems from the age-old history, thousands of years ago, they use natural plants. They use something only after they've got sick. But majority of the time they are healthy and well. Human body and human mind can be resilient. That inner resilience is something people have no idea about. You see, that's why they always say, "Well, I'm kind of, I will just don't think I have any inner resilience or healing capacity, so I will stay away from this or do this, that, and all." Yeah, do all that, but recognize you have a resilient self within you, and that is very, very important to cultivate, to nurture, and to bring it out. Okay, so with that, I will take leave now, and I will see you back again whenever I can. And I will be doing each chapter a week. I don't know which day, but each chapter a week, and then I invite you people. I'll give some actionable steps and practical advice in that, and personal stories also. They will be in the chapter also, and we'll go from there. Okay, thank you.